Welcome to New York Yankee baseball. From Yankee Stadium, the Yankees meet the Cleveland Indians. Participating advertisers are the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of light beer, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. Toyota hopes you'll enjoy today's game. You ask for it, now you get more than your money's worth at Toyota. Manufacturers Hanover, where it's banking the way you want it to be. Burger King, where you get the best darn burgers, all 100% pure beef. Con Edison, serving nearly 9 million people in New York and Westchester. The 70 greater New York area Midas dealers who say, when it comes to your car, don't compromise Midas side. By Panasonic, just slightly ahead of our time with a full line of quality home electronics products. And the New York Yankees. Everybody, and welcome to Yankee Stadium. I'm Bill White along with Frank Messer, and this afternoon, Frank, the Yankees and the Cleveland Indians play game 2 of this 3-game series. Yankees pulled out an excellent ball game last night.
Well, they really did, Bill. I was a little bit worried the way David Clyde was pitching. Excellent ball. The Indians got that 1 run, and it looked like it might hold up. But the Yankees with 3 runs in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and a costly win, though, for the Yankees. They lost 2 key men for an indefinite period. Willie Randolph, Lou Piniella, neither one playing today.
You know, I talked to Lou in the clubhouse. He said that he would like to play. He has the right ankle taped, and he feels he can play, so we can look in case they need for Piniella to play. We can look for Piniella maybe to pinch hit.
I think Piniella probably could pinch hit. He's going to have to change his stance a little bit. I don't think he can put his weight down on that heel. He may have to bat sort of up on tiptoe. Willie Randolph, though, is a completely different problem with a hamstring pull. I talked to Willie, and he said that he didn't know how to react because it had never happened to him before. In fact, he said that when he was running out the infield hitter, trying to run out the ground ball, before he got to the bag, he felt something in the back of his leg, and he said his first thought was that Buddy Bell had made a wild throw to first base and hit him with the thrown baseball. He said that's exactly the way it felt when it went on him. So he's out for an indefinite period. Brian Doyle's going to be out there this afternoon in his place at second base.
And we'll be back, and Frank will have Jim Beattie to talk to right after this. Give a lot more, should we say, publicity to players. Maybe you don't get as much as we should give you.
Well, you know, that's I think that's a matter of personality. Guys that have an outgoing personality usually get the most publicity, and you know, it doesn't matter to me as long as I'm doing my job, as long as I'm getting paid well. You know, I don't mind.
And the bottom line is, of course, driving in runs.
Yeah, I've been pretty productive this year. I'm happy with my year overall, but these last, I'd say, month or so, I've really been kind of slowed off a little bit. I'm not swinging a bat real good, but the rest of the guys are picking me up, and as long as we keep winning, that's the important thing.
You know, Chris, it seems that you went through a sort of period last year, the same one, where the bat got a little bit heavy for you.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I don't know. I've played, as you know, I played every game except one, and get down around the end of the season, probably my arms get a little tired, and I just don't do as well, you know, so maybe I just need a little bit more rest during the season.
You ever go to a lighter bat sometimes when you don't feel as strong as you?
I've been through all that. I'll usually start off with a 34-ounce bat. Right now I'm using a 31, and I do use a lighter bat, but sometimes that doesn't help either.
I think one thing that's overlooked, too, Chris, is your fielding. On the road trip, I think several ball games you saved by getting the ball out of the dirt.
Yeah, Bill, my defense has improved over the last 2 or 3 years, and I think the reason for it is because I've been out there every day, and I've been used to playing out there, and I've worked hard at it. I've taken a lot of ground balls in spring training, and all during the season I take a lot of ground balls, and it's really helped me with my fielding.
And another thing, I think this infield as a unit's been together now, this is what, your 3rd year together?
That's right. Yeah, Greg and Bucky and Willie and myself have been together about 3 years, and that helps a lot, too. You know how to play the hitters, and I know how much ground Willie can cover, so I know where to play. You know, it helps out.
It also helps, I think Bucky came last year, but it also helps, I think, when you realize what a guy's arm does, how the ball comes to you. Some guys throw sinkers, some guys throw sailors.
Yeah, Bucky and Willie are real easy because their ball is really straight and they throw hard. Greg throws at different angles because he has to make a lot of off-balance throws, and his balls do certain things. But I've made the adjustment. I play with Greg quite a bit, so I kind of know what to do.
Neto seems to get you by half step all the time.
Every time. He knows just how hard to throw it, you know. So
well, I think as a first baseman, though, you want that ball quicker so you can get your foot off the back.
That's right. Sometimes if I have my foot on that bag, boys. Those guys step on me. But Greg knows what to do. He knows how hard to throw it on every play, so it works out great.
Chris, now you're facing a right-hander after facing so many left-handers. I wondered, as a left-handed batter, you went to Toronto, you saw 3, and then you saw 2 in a row in Cleveland. Does that allow you, after seeing so many of them, to maybe hit them a little better?
Oh, yeah, there's no doubt about it. Over my career, I've done well against left-handers only because I faced them a lot. Earlier in my career, they would put the rap on guys, the young left-hand hitters coming up. They would say they couldn't hit left-handers, and the only reason they couldn't hit them is because they didn't face them. They would start platooning them early in their career, and before you know it, they don't know how to hit left-handers. I've been fortunate when I first came up that I got the rap right away that I could hit left-handers, and the managers kept me in there, and so what's come about it, I've just become a real good hitter against left-handers as well as right-handers.
Well, you will be back with more after this. It'll be Ed Figueroa for the Yankees. He'll be looking for his 20th win of the year. Figueroa's won 19 and lost 9, and he'll go against right-hander Mike Paxton. Paxton pitched well against the New York Yankees in Cleveland, but he lost the ball game, but he did pitch well. So we expect to have a well-pitched ball game with Ed Figueroa looking for his 20th. He has yet to win 20 ball games. He won 19 a couple of years ago. So now let's go back up the booth with Frank Messer.
Cleveland Indians. Rick Manning out to the Yankee lineup. Let's check. Rivers leading off, followed by Munson and Jackson. Nettles, Chambliss, Roy White. Jim Spencer is the designated hitter this afternoon. Brian Doyle at second base for the injured Willie Randolph, and Bucky Nett at shortstop. With the injury to Lou Piniella and Randolph, Reggie Jackson will be in right field, and Jim Spencer, the designated hitter, against right-hand pitcher Mike Paxton. Now for the Indians, Rick Manning will lead off. Jim Norris in left field, Buddy Bell at third. Andre Thornton at first. Wayne Cage is the designated hitter. Gary Alexander catches. Dwayne Kuiper at second base. Danny Briggs in right field, and Tom Verizor at shortstop. As you can see, as we look in from center field here at Yankee Stadium, it's going to be a jam-packed crowd here at the stadium this afternoon. Looks like the crowd will go in excess of 50,000 on this Fan Appreciation Day. The Yankees are ready to take the field. Nearest to the camera there in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, you're looking at Brian Doyle. Anybody down there on the bench might have a few butterflies. It could be Brian, although he is very calm on the outside. Thrown into the starting lineup at second base, and now the Yankees charge on out. You can see how the folks are dressed here, some in short sleeves, some with light jackets and sweaters, in deference to a partly sunny, partly cloudy afternoon, and mild temperatures expected to be in the upper 60s during the course of this afternoon's game.
So join with Robert Merrill as he sings our national anthem.
We're set for baseball here at Yankee Stadium. Chris Chambliss at first base for the Yankees. Brian Doyle, the second baseman, in a little trouble with the sunglasses. Bucky Nett at shortstop. He's got a tough job this afternoon with that afternoon sun. Craig Nettles at third base. He'll be looking into the sun rays on fly balls. Roy White in left field, the toughest job defensively. Mickey Rivers in center field. What a job this kid has done for the Yankees. And out in right field, Reggie Jackson. Reggie playing in the field again. Thurman Munson does the catching. And on the mound, Ed Figueroa. For Figgy, his 35th start. There you see his record, 19 wins, 9 losses, an earned run average of 3.10. A couple of years ago, Figueroa got to 19 wins, had 2 starts trying to win his 20th, couldn't get it. He wants that 20th victory very, very badly. As Figgy says, he wants it first of all for the team, and second, of course, for himself. But he said the team, in his mind, comes first. He wants the division wrapped up, and then we'll see what happens. Figueroa against the Cleveland Indians this year is 0-1. Lifetime, he is, this year he is 1-0. In lifetime, he is 5-4. If Figgy wins today, he'll become the first Puerto Rican-born pitcher to win 20 games in the major leagues. He's ready to work to the center fielder, Rick Manning. Manning batting .259. And that's going to be a base hit on into left field. Roy White will have to. So on the first pitch of the game, Manning doubles, and the Indians pose an early threat. For Manning, his 26th two-bagger of the year. And now Jim Norris. Jim Norris, a .280 hitter. 12 doubles, 5 triples, 2 homers, 27 runs batted in. A platoon player. Strike one. Figueroa got it over knee high. Norris plays against right-hand pitching. Usually sits against the left-handers. A ball and a strike. Beautiful day here. The sun is now out. We told you it's going to play peekaboo this afternoon. It'll be in and out with the fleecy clouds. No threat of rain. Mickey Rivers. He's there. The runner will hold as Rivers makes the catch and gets it back quickly. Manning forced to hold at second base. There's one away. Rivers playing today as he has most of the year with a bad leg. Not 100%. Mickey, not with the strongest arm in the world, but even on a routine play, he works on getting rid of that ball quickly back to the infield to make up for some of the strength deficiency. Buddy Bell, outstanding clutch hitter, 60 RBIs. Brian Doyle. And Chandler has pulled off the bag but got back. Maybe that will kill all the butterflies in Brian Doyle's stomach. He comes up with that ball cleanly. Then his throw a little bit off mark at first base. Chambliss comes out for it. Thought he had to tag the runner, but he had time to get back to the bag. Manning went to third on the play. There are 2 outs. Andre Thornton, the first baseman, a .263 hitter. Look at those home runs and RBI figures. 32 and 103. This guy doesn't strike out that much either. Off-speed pitch, foul back. Usually, as you look at Manning down at third base, usually you get your guys that hit a lot of home runs, driving a lot of runs, will tend to strike out. But Thornton is an exception. Opposition pitches around him a lot. Ball on a strike. Thornton has struck out but 71 times with 90 walks. 2 of those strikeouts came last night against Beatty and Gossett. 2 balls and a strike. I think if the Indians had a little more power on this club, somebody to back Thornton up, he would have even more impressive figures, if that's possible. Good breaking ball, and the count is 2-2. And 2-1, Thornton looking for a fastball, and Figgy sent him the breaking ball. There's no score. We're in the top half of the first. 2 outs. The Indians have a runner at third. Rick Manning doubled, moved up on a ground out. Strike 3. Figgy gets out of the situation. No runs, a hit. The man left into 1/2. Cleveland nothing, and the Yankees are coming to bat. Well, we go to the bottom half of the first inning, and just in from the bullpen to start his warm-up throws, Mike Paxton. We'll check out the Indians' defense. Andre Thornton at first base. Dwayne Kuiper at second. The shortstop, Tommy Verizor from Islip, Long Island. At third base, Buddy Bell. Jim Norris is in left field. The center fielder, Rick Manning. Where's the right fielder? There he is. Danny Briggs in right field. Big ballpark, but it's tough to lose your right fielder. Gary Alexander catches, and on the mound, Mike Paxton. 12 wins, 10 losses, an earned run average of 3.63. Paxton is 0-1 this year and lifetime 0-2 against the Yankees. This is Paxton's 27th start of the year. He's also relieved 6 times. A little breeze blows a hot dog wrapper across in front of the plate. Alexander one at a time. Mickey Rivers batting .264. Takes the curveball over. Mickey went 0 for 2 last night, sacrificed twice, including one in the Yankees' big 3-run 8th inning. Outside, it's 1-1. Again, down the line, Buddy Bell at third. Blonde-haired youngster playing him tight and on the grass. Comes in a little closer. And it's 2-1 on the quick. Watch the catcher from center field. Watch that pitch down low. And Rivers fouls it out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. We mentioned the breeze a moment ago. It is blowing out toward left field, but as Yankee fans know, it is not a true wind here at the stadium. It will swirl. Buddy Bell backs up now with 2 strikes on Rivers. If you look at the flags, they're blowing toward left field. Pretty stiff breeze. And Toronto has scored a run in the first inning, eliciting the cheer from the fans. And Rivers is going to have a base hit. So the quick man is on.
Well, Paxton hung that curveball, got it up, and Rivers got enough of it to hit it to right field for a base hit. First 2 times he'd gotten that curveball down. Now watch this one to be up a little bit. Right up there. Didn't get on top of it. More of a slider than a curveball. And Rivers, as Rivers goes much of the time, so go the Yankees. And he's on at first base, leading off here in the bottom of the first.
Thurman Munson moves up to the number 2 spot in the batting order with Woody Randolph out of action with a hamstring injury. Thurman, a .295 hitter, takes a strike. Look at that double take for Munson.
That plate's pretty good size this afternoon. Andy Thornton had a few words with home plate umpire Marty Springstead when he got caught looking. As we look at Rocky Colavito, he's on CB talking to somebody upstairs. Colavito places the outfielders defensively. The Yankees started that thing, and Cleveland's picked it up. And I suppose next year, Frank, we'll have 3 or 4 more clubs with walkie-talkies.
I understand that a couple of clubs over the National League are also doing the same thing now, Bill. Rivers goes, didn't get a good jump. The ball is fouled off.
I think the best thing to do, though, is just have good outfielders. Get guys that can go catch the ball, and you can play just about everybody straight away except a few batters, and normally you're in pretty good shape.
Mickey back to first base. He did not get a good jump. He was running, but it was not a good jump, and Munson fouled it off. 2 strikes on Thurman. Munson had 2 hits last night. Drove in the tying run of the ball game in the 8th inning. Rivers going again, and Munson trying to hit behind him, fouls it off.
He picked an odd pitch to go on. Normally with a count, no balls and 2 strikes, after going once, the catcher has the option of calling a pitch out. actually calling a pitch out twice. Paxton has pretty good control, so he can get away with throwing 2 pitch outs. But Cleveland decided to play it straight. 0-2 is usually a tough pitch to run on. Of course, the Yankees have the element of surprise on their side.
Now Paxton goes after Rivers.
That's a difference, Frank, in a veteran catcher and Gary Alexander, who is really hadn't been around that long.
Rivers had a very short lead, gets back easily. I was told the Giants liked Alexander's bat, but they were not that thrilled with him as a catcher. But he's going to have a chance to learn a lot, I think, with his Cleveland club. Base hit for Munson. Rivers will have to stop at second.
You know, too, Frank, it's not all just catching the ball. It's also calling the pitches, and I think this is where Munson excels. His pitchers have a lot of confidence in him. As we watch this base hit back up the middle, Munson not only excelling with the bat and with the glove, but he's a very intelligent catcher. He knows the hitters in the American League. He's been around a long time, and he knows situations. And I'm sure in a situation like that, had Munson been catching, it'd be 1 out. Because with a no ball, 2 strike count, a good runner there, perfect place for the pitch out.
As it is, the Yankees have runners first and second, nobody out. And Reggie Jackson batting in the number 3 spot. In this afternoon's game, Reggie is hitting .276, 25 homers, and a team-leading 94 RBIs. Ball 1. Jackson went 1 for 4 last night and drove in a run, which proved to be the winning run. Hit his bat. Foul ball, 1-1. Paxton has pitched 191 innings this year, allowed 176 hits, 62 walks, 96 strikeouts. His ERA, 3.63. He's been used mainly as a starter, although, as we mentioned before, he has relieved 6 times. And what he's studying out there, something loose out there in shallow right field, and first base umpire Garcia. No, balloons, is that what it is?
Something all the way down the line. Frank, Yankee ball boy out picking something up down the right field line, and they waited for him to retrieve whatever he had to pick up, and he's back at his post now. A lot of fans here this afternoon. To run the Yankee crowd close to 2,300,000.
Two balls and a strike to Reggie. I think crowd this afternoon will go better than 50,000. They had sold out in advance all the reserved and box seats. They put general admission and bleachers on sale at noon today. And I came to the ballpark well before noon. There were long lines waiting then. 2-1 pitch. Ooh, good looking off-speed breaking ball, and he got it over. 2-2.
Here's Jackson. You see that changeup makes you commit yourself a little too soon. That change curve, Jackson out on the front foot a little bit too soon and didn't have a chance to pull the trigger. It's a good change. Paxton has good stuff, Frank.
3-2 on Reggie.
Well, he pitched an excellent game against the Yankees in Cleveland. Pitched well to spots, changed his speeds well, although he lost the ball game. That Eckersley deal might not have been too bad a deal for Cleveland. They got this kid Paxton, they got Rick Wise, they got Bo Diaz and Ted Cox. Of course, Eckersley's having a great year for the Red Sox.
He walks Jackson, and the bases are loaded. Nobody out, the bases loaded. No score here in the bottom half of the first. And what a spot for Greg Nettles. And we're going to see Harvey Haddix, the kitten, they called him in his pitching days, Bill, out there. pitched probably the greatest individual game ever. Not as much highly publicized as Don Larson's perfect game in the World Series, but one time in his career, Haddix, there's Rick Wise out in the bullpen, big right-hander. One time in his career, Harvey Haddix pitched 12 perfect innings, did not allow a base runner, and finally got beat.
Joe Adcock hit a home run and ran past one of the base runners, so he didn't get credit for the home run. But Haddix lost the ball game 1-0.
A strange ending to a strange game. They called him the Kitten. Harry Burkeen was called the Cat for his fielding ability. When Haddix came along after Burkeen, they said there was such a similarity, they started calling Haddix the Kitten.
Oh, Cardinals? Both of them.
Yep. All right, Paxton will face Greg Nettles with the bases loaded, nobody out. The Indians play the infield back, hopeful of the double play. Trying to stop what could be a big Yankee inning. And it's well hit. And a good catch by the right fielder, Briggs.
He dropped the ball. He dropped the ball.
He dropped it. Rivers is in to score. Oh, what a play. I don't know how in the world he dropped it. He had it and then dropped it. He fell down, almost fell down when he started for it, then got to it, and then dropped it.
Let's watch it again. Here's Nettles ripping the ball to right field. Briggs slipped just a little bit. Now he comes back over, and he tries to backhand the ball right there. He has it, and then he drops it out of the glove. He thinks he's gotten the glove, but he doesn't. He looks back, and he has to go back and run it down. That should be a base hit. Of course, they're debating over there. That was a tough play for Briggs. Had to backhand the ball. Had he had the glove, had he been a right-handed thrower, he would have caught the ball. Base hit.
Yankees lead 1-0. Chambliss with the bases loaded down the left field line. It is a fair ball. The ball is in play. And now bounces up into the seats. A double, 2 runs will score. The Yankees lead 3-0.
Frank, you're talking about the wind. It must be blowing toward right field, although the flags look like it's blowing toward left. When Chambliss hit that ball, he stayed at home plate. He thought the ball was going to slice foul as we look at a happy Yankee dugout, but the wind took it and kept it in fair territory, a ground rule double. By the time that ball hit, Chambliss was halfway to first base. No further than that. The wind kept it in. Ball dropping in and bouncing into the seats.
Right. It just was fair as we see it again now.
Well, Chambliss stayed and watched the ball. He watched the ball a long time, and fortunately for him and for the Yankees, it did hit foul. But you were talking about the wind earlier. I think the wind hadn't been blowing, swirling, gusting. That ball would have sliced foul.
Roy White up to second and third, nobody out. Takes a breaking ball. Ball 1. Yeah, Chris, a little fortunate. I think that ball bounced into the seats, and he got the second base. They didn't make a play on him. That would have been embarrassing. Well, not too much, so he got 2 RBIs. That's a base hit. Nettles in to score. Chambliss going to try. The throw goes to second, and the Yankees lead 5-0, and still nobody out. To right center field. Nettles scores. Here comes Chambliss. He slows down now as he sees the throw go into the shortstop at second base. And the Yankees have a 5-0 lead on a single by Roy White. Roy now has driven in 42 runs on the year. Torborg is out. That'll be all for Mike Paxton. The double driving in 2 by Chambliss give him 90 runs batted in on the year. Nettles, who knocked in the Yankees' first run, has 91, and quite an individual race in that department for the Yankees. Reggie Jackson leads with 94, Nettles 91, Chambliss now 90 RBI. And there's Here's the first inning score. Toronto got a run. Boston did not. And Torborg is out there making a pitching change. We'd like to remind you that if the Yankees win the American League East, all playoff games will be carried right here on WPIX. We'll have tomorrow's game against the Indians, the final game of the regular season for you. And then if the Yankees win the American League East, all playoff games will be carried right here on WPIX Channel 11. The first game will be Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. We'll be on Tuesday night at 8 and Wednesday afternoon at 3 from Kansas City.
Number 40.
As we said last night, Bill White, the folks put up with us all year on Yankee telecast. We hope they'll be with us for the playoffs here on Channel 11. Now we're told Boston got a run in the bottom half of the first to tie that ball game up. So they've completed one at Fenway, and it's Toronto 1 and Boston 1. The New York Yankees are no longer accepting mail orders for box or reserved seats for the American League Championship Series or the World Series. So you can save yourselves a stamp. The Yankees are no longer accepting mail orders for box or reserved seats for the playoffs or World Series. And what a crowd this afternoon. Another sold-out day here at Yankee Stadium. It'll be in excess of 50,000 as you check Rick Wise warming up. The Yankees with 5 runs here in the first inning. A single by Rivers, a single by Munson. Jackson walked. Greg Nuttall's got a single after Briggs got his drive in his glove and dropped it. Chambliss doubled. White single. Still nobody out. 5 runs across. And Rick Wise will try to stem the tide. Rick Wise has won 9. And he has lost 19 games this year. An earned run average of 4.42. Wise has started 31 times. This is only his second relief appearance of the year. 9
Jim
complete
Spencer.
games. One of his wins was a shutout.
Designated hitter. Number 12.
He'll work to Jim Spencer, the Yankees' designated hitter, with Roy White at first, nobody out, and 5 runs already across. Spencer, a .228 batter. And that's a nice play by Kuiper, but he does not get it there in time. Wise did not get over there in time, and Spencer beats it out for a base hit. Pitch is down low. Spencer still got on top of it.
Watch Kuiper dive for the ball here. He's going all out, Frank. He gets up, gets the ball to Wise, but not in time as Spencer beats him to the bag in a very close play.
Well, that ball come up on that little hop at the last second to Kuiper, too, which helped him get his glove to it. Base hit for Spencer. Still nobody out. First and second for Brian Doyle, hitting .217. Playing in place of the injured Willie Randolph. We just don't know how long Willie's going to be out. He doesn't know. No word. Doyle up there to bunt and fouls it back.
From experiences with hamstrings, Frank, it takes a while. And I mean a while.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not talking about a week. They say day to day, but day to day usually stretches out into 3 or 4 weeks.
There's some doubt in some parts as to whether Randolph will be able to play anymore this year. The throw to third, and they've got the force play there. Andy Thornton making the throw to Buddy Bell. Roy White is forced out. 3 to 5.
A right-handed throwing first baseman couldn't have made a better play. No other first baseman. Watch this one. Thornton really comes in here now, and he has to spin around. He'll completely lose sight of third base. Then he rights himself and makes a good throw, and Bell makes a good stretch, and they force White over there at third base. That's a good play. It's always tough for a right-hander to make that play because he's got to spin around. He completely loses his target, but Thornton picked it up again.
Bucky Dent with runners at first and second, now one out, hitting .246. Ball one. The Yankees lead 5-0 here in the first. At Fenway, it's Toronto 1, Boston 1, first inning score. Two balls and no strikes. If the Yankees win this ball game, they clinch at least a tie. That would be the worst they could do, regardless of what happens in Boston or here tomorrow. If the Yankees win this one, they clinch at least a tie. 2-0 pitch to Bucky. Rip foul, 2-1. Dan knows what the injury jinx is for this year. He missed a lot of playing time. He had the hamstring too, Bill.
And it took him quite a while to get back.
One thing I've noticed from observing, an athlete with the larger legs, such as Dent has, will take longer to heal, cure a hamstring than a guy with more slender legs, such as Randolph has. Ground ball on the left side. Bell's got it for one at second, back to first. Double play, and that retires the side. The Yankees get 5 runs off 5 hits with a man left. And now at the end of one, it's New York 5, Cleveland nothing. Stadium. Ed Figueroa has a 5-run lead. He'll be working to Wayne Cage, Gary Alexander, and Dwayne Kuiper. Cage, the designated hitter, batting .244, 4 homers, 12 runs batted in. Strike one. I think right now all Figueroa's got to think about is throwing strikes, get the ball over with something on it. No balls and 2 strikes on Cage. Cage is strong. He has a strange stance, strange swing. Almost a flat-footed swing out of the closed stance. Chops it over the mound, and Doyle is there and throws him out. 1 down. The Yankees lead 5-0. In case you tuned in a little bit late. And Gary Alexander is the batter. That last play, chopped it out in front of the plate over Figueroa's head, but Brian Doyle cutting to his right. Throws him out easily. Alexander, a .223 hitter. We talk about home runs. Alexander's hit 26. But unlike Andre Thornton, Alexander will strike out a lot. Like 163 times so far. Popped him up. Doyle has the play, circling around, coming in. Well, that wind is playing tricks, Bill. That brought that ball way back in. Doyle broke back, had to come way in on it.
Mention, Frank, it's a swirling wind here at the stadium, and here's Doyle coming back in. Easy play for it.
Second base, number 18.
We saw him make a play last night, Frank. Brian Doyle. I don't think the Yankees will lose that much defensively. It will be with the bat that Randolph certainly will be missed. Of course, you miss him defensively, too.
This is Dwayne Kuiper.
Doyle has pretty good movement around second base. You like to keep your people intact, though. You can.
Oh, yes. Ground ball. Doyle worked out again. Throws him out to retire the side and order at the end of 1.5. It's New York 5, Cleveland nothing. Score up on the scoreboard here from Fenway, and the Red Sox came back in the bottom half of the first with 4 runs. And it's now Boston 4, Toronto 1 at the end of 1. They don't care. They're having a good time out here at the stadium. They know that if the Yankees win, they will clinch at least a tie. There's one of those thermal mugs put into use very early. You saw that man in the background there sipping suds out of that mug already. Bill Miller in there. That's all right. Mickey Rivers led off the first. He leads off the second. He's single leading off the first. Scored the first of 5 runs. Ball 1. The Yankees in the first inning got 5 runs on 5 hits, and they left a man on. They got 6 hits, 5 runs on 6 hits. Ball and a strike. Rick Wise relieved in the first with nobody out. Paxton finished with no innings pitched. 5 hits, 5 runs, and a walk. It's a tough way to end up the season. You don't get credit for even 1 put out and be charged with 5 earned runs. Buddy Bell down the line at third on Rivers. Foul ball off Gary Alexander. Two and 2 pitch. Foul ball. Thurman Munson is over in the on-deck circle. Back out of play. Yankees lead 5-0 here in the bottom half of the second. Rivers, who led off the first, is leading off the second. The Yankees batted around. Base hit number 2 for Rivers. He's 2 for 2. Rivers' second hit of the game. Second hit off Wise. And now Thurman Munson. Thurman singled to center field in the first inning. He also scored. First 5 Yankees, or actually the first 7 Yankees got on base, and the first 5 of them scored runs. Thurman has not had the year statistically that he has had in the past as far as home runs and RBIs are concerned. Average is up there, 295. Been playing hurt a lot of the year. Still has done an outstanding job of handling the Yankee pitchers. Base hit. Rivers going to go for third. He'll make it.
That's Munson, you know, as a hitter, Frank Messer, getting that ball out on the plate and ripping it to right center field. Look at him, wait on the ball, right back up the middle. When Munson's hitting well, he hits that ball there and also to right field sharply. When he starts hitting like that, you know he's back.
Well, the Yankees have runners on the corners, nobody out. And Reggie Jackson, the batter. Reggie walked off a 3-2 pitch in the first inning. He also scored a run. Ball 1.
I think the Yankees' most valuable day was Monday. They got that day off. Chance to recuperate a little bit from that tough road trip. Toronto, Cleveland. Munson was really tired, dog-tired in Cleveland.
That's going to slice out of play. Back in the stands. Pitch away from him. Looked like Reggie was trying to go to left field with it. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Let's see Pittsburgh leading the Phillies 4-2. Flash up on the board.
I didn't see that, Bill.
Well, Pittsburgh beat the Phillies 2 last night to move within a game and a half of the Phillies.
And the way they beat them. Bottom half of the 9th inning, both games. On deck hitter Greg Nettles. That's foul. Understand the first game of last night's doubleheader. Misjudged fly ball and a resultant throwing error let the winning run score. And in the second game, the winning run scored for the Pirates on a balk. Phillies went into Pittsburgh needing to win only 1 of the 4 games to wrap up their division. The Pirates won both games of the twin bill last night, and they are leading 4-2 early in this afternoon's game. Jackson back talking to Greg Nettles as now moves back in. Nobody out, runners at first and third. The Yankees lead 5-0. Rick Wise last year with the Red Sox. 1-11 and lost 5. He gets Jackson on strikes. 1 away.
Frank, that Pittsburgh Philly game is in the 2nd inning with Pittsburgh leading the Phillies by a score of 4-2. Willie Stargell hit another home run, his 28th of the year. A 4-run home run. Whoop! Grand slam. That's a 4-run home run, isn't it?
That's right.
The grand slam by Willie Stargell, the bottom of the 1st.
Well, he had a 3-run homer last night.
Man, that old fella just keeps going.
Greg Nettles in. He singled and scored in the 1st inning. Also drove in a run. Pops this one up. And a shallow right. Rivers will tag up. Briggs gets under it. Rivers will score. No throw to the plate. The Yankees lead 6-0. Sacrifice fly and RBI number 92 on the year for Nettles. Fred Stanley, happy young man there in the dugout.
What Griggs thinking about here, Frank, going to second base, you've got to throw toward home and let your first baseman cut it off if you don't have a chance. Griggs not even attempting to throw out Rivers. He's throwing the ball to second base.
2 down, and Chris Chambliss the batter. Chambliss bounced one into the left field seats, a ground rule double to drive in 2 runs in the 1st inning, and he later scored. You know, Stargell's 3-run homer in last night's game, Bill White, first game of that doubleheader, put the Pirates ahead 4-2. Phillies then tied it up, and the Pirates won it 5-4. And Stargell's grand slam homer today put them ahead 4-2. Good year for the old folks.
Yes, Rover Stargell.
Well, a guy like Star, I don't know how old Stargell is. He's getting up there in his upper 30s.
Late 30s, yes.
Yeah. Willie McCovey still going with the Giants. Gaylord Perry may win the Cy Young Award in the National League. He's 40 years old. Phil Niekro's no kid. Had a good year. Ball and 2 strikes. Son of a gun, if I was a young guy complaining about a few aches and pains, I'd have second thoughts. See those guys go out there every day and do their job.
Well, when the money's on the line, Frank, those old fellas start mashing that ball.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Just missed with that one. Wise thought he had a strike. In the air to right field, not deep enough. In fact, the right fielder Briggs will have to come back in on it. The Yankees get 1 run on 2 hits and leave a man. End of 2. New York 6, Cleveland nothing.